Good, good evening. On today, I will be presenting an informative speech on how child abuse plays a role on a victim's perception as they mature. Before I begin my speech, I'd like to show my audience. Lyron Hicks, Quentin Hicks, Clara Hicks, Miss Patricia, and my recordist, Miss Mika Hicks. I'm sure many of you guys have heard of the concept of child abuse or seen a victim of child abuse multiple times. But did you know that child abuse was one of the largest epidemics in the world right now? As a psychology minor and a child of a mental health professional, I take child abuse very seriously and feel that many other people should do the same as well. When discussing child abuse, it's very important to understand three main concepts. Those three main concepts are the correct definition of child abuse, the causes and risk factors, and the long-term effects on a victim. Many people hear the word child abuse and create their own definition to the concept. According to the personal interview completed with mental health professional supervisor Tamika Hicks, child abuse is more than just a neglect or harm to others. Child abuse is a physical, sexual, or mental act upon a child for an undesignated or designated reason. Some people figure that by disciplining their children with whippings and talks, that they are doing what they should be doing as a parent. But there is a particular way these things should be done. It's fine to discipline your child, but you have to do it in a civilized manner. As a result, this is why it's so important to understand what child abuse is and its different aspects. Child abuse can occur to any innocent child at any age or time, so never say it won't happen to your child or a loved one. Most acts are performed from inside family members such as parents, aunts, uncles, and etc. compared to strangers. Along with child abuse being a violent act, it's also a crime as well. Individuals that participate in child abuse activities are sentenced to time in jail or even lose custody of their children. Most cases, child abuse charges are considered felonies. In other cases where child abusers lose custody, their children are placed with a legal guardian that can be another family member or even a complete stranger. As a result, the victim has not only been abused either physically or sexually, but mentally as well, because they are losing someone who they thought loved them and wouldn't hurt them. No matter which form of child abuse someone actually performs, regardless, it will always have a mental effect on that victim and the abuser as well. Once someone can learn the proper definitions of child abuse, they can notice the various risk factors that lead to this traumatizing act. Based on Siegel-Smith, Child Abuse and Neglect, Recognizing, Preventing, and Reporting, Child Abuse from HelpGuide.org, child abuse doesn't have a target. It can happen in all types of families, even if they appear happy from the outside. There are various causes of child abuse. The different reasons vary depending on each individual case. While there are times that child abuse can be seen with the naked eye easily, there are also times where you can't tell until you investigate or research more into the situation. When dealing with the causes of child abuse, it falls into three common categories. The three common categories are emotional, physical, and sexual. It's important for a person to educate themselves more on the concept, because then it's easy for them to not only recognize the visible signals, but less visible ones as well. Studies show that the main causes and risk factors of child abuse come primarily from people that are drug users, suffer from untreated mental illness, and lack of parenting skills. Other common causes can be stress and anxiety from life or other present or past experiences. Majority of the cases where children are abused by their parents, it's said that it's because it's the same way their parent raised them or brought them up. So they feel that it's okay when it's really not appropriate. While the significance of knowing what child abuse is and the risk factors that can lead to it, one should always be able to understand not just the short-term effect on the victim, but the long-term effect as that person grows up. According to the Child Welfare Information Gateway article, long-term consequences of child abuse and neglect from childwelfare.gov, victims' overall outcome varies and consists of multiple factors in each child abuse case. When dealing with the outcome, it can either be positive or negative. Of course, majority of the cases turn out to be negative, but once again, not all of them. Victims that result in a negative outcome usually all react the same way. Common results can be higher crime rates, lower education rates, drug users, social problems with others, and long-term depression. On the other hand, individuals that tend to have a positive outcome have opposite results. They normally engage in discussions that will help prevent people from being abused or help victims seek guidance or even try to make a change within the community. The few individuals that have positive outcomes usually have designated reasons or certain characteristics to why they won't let being abused be their downfall in life. As one learns about the long-term effects of child abuse, they normally become more interested and against it because they see the harm or benefit it can do to someone. Child abuse isn't just traumatizing the victim, but it also traumatizes the abuser as well. Regardless of the situation, both sides are losing. It's no winner in child abuse. As a result, that's why I stress the importance of people being educated more on child abuse so the rate can decrease rather than increase. Before I end my speech, I would like to show my visual aid. This are a few pictures of victims that was once victims of child abuse, and this is some weapons. After this speech, I hope you all have gained the knowledge and recognize the significance of knowing and understanding what child abuse is, its causes, and the long-term effects and consequences as well. After today, hopefully my topic on child abuse will stick to you forever and encourage you to not only educate yourself more, but others as well. Once again, we have learned the definition of child abuse, the causes and risk factors, as well as the long-term effects. And this concludes my speech.